Hi everyone, it's Bryn from Southtowns Pilates, and today's workout is going to focus on stretching the muscles that tend to get tight when you do too much sitting, maybe at your computer or your home office. So, this one's safe for all levels, even people with osteoporosis or disc problems. But of course, if anything bothers you, just skip that exercise. So we are going to start laying on our back today. So go ahead and lay down, settle in, take a nice big stretch. Arms up overhead, legs out, and just take an inhale, lengthening through your spine, and an exhale. And one more time, inhale and exhale, and then bring your knees into your chest and give them a hug. Good. Just waking up the body. Take the knees back and forth a little bit, and in and out. Okay, set your feet down and place your hands by your side. Think about opening up your shoulders and pressing your palms into the mat. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, bring your right knee towards your chest. Inhale, set it down. Exhale, left knee towards your chest. Super basic move. So what we're doing here is just warming up that deep abdominal connection. So you don't want any movement in your low back as you march those knees in and out. And you want to feel like there's a slight hug through your waistline, maintaining that neutral pelvis position that we talk about in the studio so much. And now take your right knee in, exhale your left knee to tabletop. And from here, we're going to go to toe taps, adding just a little bit more of a challenge. Same thing, neutral pelvis, supporting neutral pelvis with just that little hugging in of the waistline, waking up your deep transverse abdominal muscle. And let's do one more on each side. And then the feet are going to cross, the legs are going to cross in the middle. So we're just ramping it up one more time with those toe taps. Again, neutral pelvis. Check in with your ribs. Are your ribs lifted away from the mat, or are they set into the mat? They should be set into the mat. And just two more sets. And last one. Bring the arms up. Inhale your arms overhead, making sure your ribs don't pop off of the mat like so. Keep your ribs glued down. Exhale your arms back up. Inhale overhead. Exhale up. Keeping your collarbones broad. Neck is relaxed. And one more. Now we're going to incorporate the arm movement with the leg movement. So right arm, left toe, taps down, bring it up. Left arm, right toe, taps down, bring it up. Inhale as you tap, exhale back up to center. And a few more of those. See if you can pick up your pace. Tap and up and tap and up. Keep it going. Two more sets each side. Last one, last one. Bring it up. Okay, double arm toe tap. Inhale, arms and legs tap. Exhale back up to center. Inhale, tap. Exhale, center. So really challenging the deep transverse abdominal muscle here to keep the low back neutral. And you don't want this work going into the low back. You want it being controlled by your deep abdominal muscles. Three more. Two. Last one. Hug those knees in. Next, you're going to take your arms to a goal post And palms are facing the ceiling. Press the back of your arms and hands into the mat. Wake up those back muscles. Squeeze your knees together in tabletop. You're going to rotate the hips to the right. Exhale, center. Rotate to the left. Exhale, center. Keep your arms pressing into the floor. Try to keep your knees glued together. Now, can you do this without shifting that top knee in? So your knees are going to attempt to stay aligned, and you're controlling this movement with your oblique abdominal muscles, really waking them up. Keep those arms pressing into the mat. We're going to do one more set to each side. Last one. And hug those knees in. Take your legs straight up towards the ceiling and really reach the legs to the ceiling. You're going to hug your right leg in as your left leg lowers, and switch, and switch. So of course, keeping the pelvis neutral, keeping the low back quiet, but you want energy reaching out of those legs. So you're getting a hamstring stretch every time you pull a leg in. And you're working the abdominals. And just two more on each side. Last set. Good. And straighten those legs towards the ceiling. Find your neutral pelvis position. Set your ribs down. Take your hands to diamond arms overhead. Fingertips touching, little diamond with the arms. Stretch those legs towards the ceiling, and you're going to lower 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, exhale up. The lower your legs go, the more pressure you put into your arms to counteract that. And the legs aren't going that low here, at least not for me, because I don't want my low back to arch off of the floor. And just one more of these. And take it up, hug the knees in. And arms back into diamond, legs reach for the ceiling. Now, you're going to take your right leg out to the side, exhale it up. Left leg drops to the side, exhale it up. Now, just like when we do feet in straps in the studio, and we do this move, you're trying to keep your pelvis from tipping as you lower the leg. So only lower as far as you can without changing the pelvis position. And keep stretching long out of the ball of your foot. Think energy shooting through your legs. One more to each side. Last one. And then take your legs to diamond legs. So arms are a diamond over your head. Toes are touching, legs are diamonds. You're just gonna tap those toes down, exhale them up, inhale to tap, exhale up. Keep pressing your arms into the mat. Think about your spine being long, core pulls in as those toes tap. 3 more, and 2, and 1, and hug them in. Let's take it into our leg circles. So left leg, let's start actually with both legs stretched out to the floor. And you're going to, I feel like my angle to this camera probably isn't the best, but that's why these videos are free. Okay, feet are flexed, heels are pressed into the mat, neutral pelvis. Take your right leg up to the ceiling, hold behind the thigh, bend the knee, and stretch. Working through that hamstring. Left leg is pressed strongly into the floor. Last one, hold. Point and flex your foot. 2, 1. Remove your arms. Now, this hip may have hiked up. Mine always does on that side. So I'm going to aim my right sit bone, bony butt bone, to my left ankle and straighten out my pelvis. There. Point the toe. Think energy through the ball of your foot, toes relaxed. And now circle the legs starting across your body, down, around, and up. And 4 more. And check in with the pelvis. Is it still level? Is it nice and still? You're just thinking about the head of the femur rotating around in its socket. Last one. Back up to the ceiling and reverse. Open it up, take it down, around and up. And we have 4 more. Still stretching long out of that leg. Checking in with the pelvis. Last 2. Last 1. And set that right foot down. Left leg comes up. Hamstring stretch, hold behind the thigh. Stretch towards the ceiling and bend. 2 more. Last one, hold, point and flex. 2 and 1. Good. Remove the hands. Again, think about that left sit bone aiming towards your right ankle to straighten out your pelvis and going into our leg circles. Cross, down, around, and up. And 4 more. 3. Shoulders are open. Pelvis is quiet. Last 1. And reverse your circle. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Take that leg up towards the ceiling and set it down. Stretch the arms overhead and then roll onto your right side. Rest your head on your right bicep. Legs are perfectly in line with your body. We're going to work on side balance here. If you need your left hand in front of you, that's fine. If not, just set it on your body. So anytime we do sideline work, I always say create a little mouse hole under your waistline. So what that does is it helps you engage your core when you're laying on your side. And now, stretch those legs long. The top leg is as long as the bottom leg. From here, you're going to lift both legs up and set them down. And you're just focusing on lifting and lowering while you maintain your mouse house and while you keep the top leg as long as the bottom leg. 3 more. 2. Hold the legs up, bottom leg drops and lifts. And 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Bottom leg is going to circle. These are tiny circles. We're going to go in both directions, so it doesn't matter which way you started. 3, 2, 1, and reverse your circle for 8. And maybe try balancing. That makes it a lot harder. Keep your mouse house. Last 2, last 1. Top leg is going to lift and lower and lift and lower. Mouse house and heels now line up between each rep. And just 2 more. Last one. Now take the legs to a diagonal, slightly in front of your body. For this one, you can either stay with your head on your bicep, or for more of a challenge, go ahead and bring both hands behind your head. And with this, with hands behind your head, you don't want your ribs slouching down like that. You want to be lifted through the ribs and the core. Hover the top leg. We're going into circles. As big or as small as you can control. Trying to keep the hips quiet. And 4 more. 3, 2, and reverse your circles here for 8. Staying lifted through your ribs. And 4, 3, 2, 1, hover that top leg, last set here. You're going to kick the leg forward, point and extend the leg back. Kick forward, point back. For this one, you can go ahead and add a little thoracic upper back extension as you kick back. You just don't want the extension going into your low back. Keep it in your upper back. Last 2. Last 1. And set that foot down. Go ahead and sit yourself up. We're going to go into a mermaid stretch on that side. So mermaid stretch, you're in your Z sit. Your left leg is bent, right leg is bent in front. Arms come out to the side. Inhale the left arm up and over. Exhale to center. 2 more, up and over. And last 1, hold. Rotate that left hand to the floor. Separate the hands, open the shoulders. Now bend the elbows, keeping your spine long, and hinge over so that your left leg hovers over the floor. And from here, you're just going to lift that left knee up for 8, pulsing. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then pulse it back behind you for 8. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then sit yourself, or go ahead and lay yourself back down. Take that leg right into a quad stretch. Good, let it go. We're still on the right side here. You're gonna lay on your right side and your arms are stretched out in front of you. You're going to reach your top arm forward and then keeping your fingertips on the floor, if you can, stretch it up overhead, around to the other side. Eyes follow the hand, and then you drape it back across your body to your starting position. So reach over your bottom arm, stretch up, glide those fingertips overhead, all the way out to a T, and then drape the arm across your body. 2 more. This should feel really good. Stretching through the shoulders, through the back. And 1 more. Make it nice and fluid. And back to your starting side. And now let's take all of that over to the left side, if we can remember what we did on the right. Okay. Starting on our left side, head resting on your bicep, legs are straight out, like so. And again, find your mouse house, reach your top leg, make it as long as the bottom leg, and we're gonna lift both legs up for 8, 7. Checking in with your mouse house, checking in with your leg length. 3, 2, 1. Hold the top leg up, circle the bottom leg each direction for 8. 4 more. And reverse your circle. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and now circle or lifts and lowers with the top leg for 8. Keep the mouse house. Every time the leg lowers, heels line up. Make sure that top hip isn't rolling back. And we have 4 more. Keep that wrapped feeling in your waistline. 2, 1. And now lift up. Either stay where you are, or you can lift up onto your elbow. Again, ribs are lifted as well. Legs come forward, just about 45 degrees. And we're gonna do our circles in this position. And 4 more. Making sure our heels line up between each circle and reverse it. And one side will probably feel easier or harder than the other. I think this is my harder side. 3, 2, and 1. Last set is kicks. Flex the foot forward, point the foot back. Exhale as you press back, inhale it forward. And try not to use momentum, trying to keep the low back still. We have 3 more, and 2, and 1. And rest that leg down. Take it up for mermaid. Left leg is bent in front of you. Arms out to the side. You're gonna inhale, right arm up and over. Exhale up. And think about your right sit bone or hip stretching down as the arm stretches overhead. Last one, hold. Rotate that arm towards the floor. Separate your hands, lengthen your spine, hinge over. That right leg will come up and hover. From here, you're gonna lift and pulse that leg for 8, 7, doesn't go too high. 4, 3, 2, hold, pulse it back for 8, 7, shoulders relaxed. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. You're just going to lay it back down for our quad stretch here. Pulling that knee in, trying to keep the knee in line with the hip. Opening up the front of the hip flexors, the quad muscles. Relax that leg down. And then we did our shoulder stretch. So knees are bending in here. Arms are stacked right out in front. You're gonna stretch your right arm over the bottom arm. Glide the back of your fingertips overhead. Eyes will follow the hand. That feels so good. Come out to a T and then drape the arm across your chest. Back to where you started. Reach. Circle the arm overhead. Open it up. And let's do 2 more. Really enjoying the stretch. And last one. Reaching overhead. Good. And back to where you started. Now we're going to go into some work on our bellies in prone. So lay on your stomach. And let's start with our head resting on the back of our hands. And let's just wake up the glutes here. So think about pressing the front of your hips into the floor, lifting up your kneecaps as you press the back of your feet into the ground. Feel that lift. Belly's pulled up, shoulders are away from your ears. From here, you're gonna lift just your right leg up and set it down. Left leg lifts and sets it down. Keep going with that. You want to make sure the lift is coming from the glute, not the low back. So it takes a lot of core engagement and a lot of glute isolation to make sure that that's what's happening. Now we're gonna lift both legs together. So lift and lower. 7 more. Four more. Is your belly still lifted away from the ground? Shoulders away from ears. Last one. Good. Take your arms out to a V in front of you, pressing your pinky side of your hand into the floor. Spine is long, neck is neutral. From here, lift your kneecaps, and you're going to glide your pinky fingers in towards your body as you lift up into a little mini swan and lower. So just like on the reformers with swan, as you lift your torso, shoulders glide down your back, spine lengthens, ribs lift up towards your spine. And we're gonna inhale as we lift and exhale as we lower. Just 2 more. And I'm really heavy in my pinkies here. I'm really pressing into the ground. Last one. And lower. Now just lift up, maybe pulling the pinkies in 1 inch. Set your shoulders, pull your core in. You're going to lift just your right arm up and set it down. Lift just your left arm, set it down. 1 more set. Keeping your knees lifted. And now opposite arm, leg. Staying engaged through your core. Lengthening through the arm and leg that's lifting. Shoulders away from the ears. 1 more set. Lower down for a moment. Lift back up for swimming. Palms are going to face the ground. Opposite arm, leg reaches, and you pick up the pace like you are Aquaman swimming through the ocean. It's not a really efficient swimming stroke, but for Pilates, we'll just go with it. Trying to keep your body quiet, so just the arms and legs are moving and the core is still but engaged. And rest. Press yourself back to your child's pose. And take it back down to your belly. Now, we are going to come up to our elbows. So keep your elbows under your shoulders. I like just putting my palms into the ground. Some people like to press their knuckles together. Do whatever helps you keep your shoulders down and engaged. Okay, core is lifted, kneecaps are lifted. You can either do this one with your legs apart or together. I prefer apart because of my SI issue. So here you are. You're going to flex your right foot in for 2 pulses and extend and lower. Other side, pulse, extend, lower. Keep that going. If you want to complicate things for yourself, you can flex, point, extend, lower. Flex, point, extend, lower. Check in with your ribs. Are they lifted? Shoulders are open. Lifting up and out of your shoulders. Good. And then lower down, resting your head on your hands again. Set the shoulders down your back. For this one, I'm going to zip my legs together because the torso is going to stay down. Flex the heels in for 3, 2, 1, extend, lower. Actually, I'm going to point, flex, point, extend. Flex, point, flex, extend. It's always fun for the brain to incorporate those ankle movements. We don't want to make things too easy. Ribs, belly are still lifted away from the mat. Shoulders are down. And 1 more. Extend. And then again, just going to stretch the front of the hip here as well. With all the sitting these days, we can't do too much of that. And switch sides. Good. Now, take it back into one more child's pose. And then we'll go into our plank work. So you can choose to do your plank on your hands or your elbows. I think I'm gonna do my front plank on my hands today. So just like we've set up in previous classes, you're gonna start on your hands and knees. Think about rounding the low back and finding a little extension through the shoulders and the upper back. And then from there, step one foot back and your other foot back and hold, keeping the hips tucking under, reaching long through your heels and long out of the crown of your head. And we're gonna hold for 5 more breaths. 3, 2, and 1, and drop the knees down, sit the hips back. We're gonna go up for another set, adding on. So round the low back, extend the upper back, lift the knees, keep that tuck, and from here, you're going to lift the right foot up, 2, 3, set it down. Left foot lifts, 2, 3, set it down. 3 more sets. Use your breath. Drop down anytime you need to. Last set. Drop the knees. Child's pose. And now taking it to side plank. Now I prefer side planks on my elbows, forearm. Sorry, because it bothers my shoulder, but if you love your side planks using your wrist, go ahead. We're gonna take the top foot forward and knees are slightly bent, and we're just gonna lift up into our side plank and take 5 breaths here. And like I always say, think about just standing at a diagonal. So you're not lifted, you're not dumped down, you're just holding like you're calmly standing on a diagonal. 1 more breath, and then bend the knees and lower. And now we're just gonna do a few lifts and lowers. So you're gonna lift up and then lower, tap the knees down, sitting towards the feet, and then lift up. And tap it down, and lift up, tap it down. We've got 2 more. Last one, tap it down, and take it over to your other side. So we're on the left, either hand or forearm, knees bent, left foot is forward. And we're gonna lift up and hold for 5 breaths here. Feet are flexed. Inner thighs squeezing together. You're just standing at your diagonal. 3, 2, 1. Then set it down. Now we have 5 lifts and lowers. So lift it up, tap down. Lift up, tap down. When I tap down, I'm bending down towards my feet. Last 2, last 1, and lower. Now we're gonna go to our reverse plank. So legs are gonna be stretched out in front of you. Shoulders roll open, and then hands come behind you. If this doesn't work for you for any reason, just skip it and join us for the stretch after. So open those shoulders, lots of tricep work. You're going to lift the hips up and then set them down. Let's do 4 more. Lifting up, set them down, keep those shoulders rolling open. Last 2, and last 1. Set the hips down. Find your sit bones, either by bending your knees or sitting right up on top of them. Take the legs wide, and we're just going to walk the hands Slowly forward, trying to keep the back neutral as long as we can. At your furthest point, just hold. And now round your spine, bringing your head closer to the floor, reaching the arms forward, and hold. That's my dog. Okay, zip the legs together. Come onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under as you sit back onto your heels. Hold here and just stretch the bottoms of your feet. Thank you, Roxy. Yep. And round your spine over your knees. And hold. And then you're going to drop your heels to the floor. Keep your ribs connected to your thighs as you reach your hips up towards the ceiling. Knees can be as bent as they need to. Relax the head, neck, and shoulders. And take your head back and forth, yes and no. Releasing any tension. Ribs are still resting on your thighs, hanging nice and heavy. And then you're going to slowly ground down through your big toe, pinky toe, heel, lift your arches, tuck your tailbone under as you roll up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders will glide down as you come to standing. And we are all done. Thanks for joining me this week. Bye.